Well, guys, I may have a new favorite show. Because we kicked off the fall TV season so strong with FX's English Teacher, which obviously I don't really talk about TV a whole lot on this channel. But this show I knew was something special, and I had to talk about it. And I want to make sure as many people see this show as possible because, I mean, I first saw the trailer for it a couple months ago. I hadn't heard anything about it, but I'm just subscribed to Hulu and FX on YouTube, so it just popped up on my feed, and I just thought, just like as a concept, like, oh, a TV show about an English teacher that could be really interesting. I was in high school just a few years ago. I'm really interested to check that out, and it's it was different from what I was expecting, but was better in literally every way possible, to the point where, like I said, it is now one of my favorite new shows. I do think it is my favorite show, my favorite new show of 2024. 2024's best new sitcom, best new comedy. This show is hilarious. It's been a long time since I've watched a TV show and consistently laughed out loud this much. And the way they handle this comedy is just genius. Brian Jordan Alvarez, who is the showrunner, the writer, and the star of the show, he plays Evan Marquez, our main English teacher of the series. His ideas with this show are so brilliant because, again, the writing is top notch. It's just so well done because with this comedy, they're tackling a lot of very big issues in today's society. There's a lot of political commentary in the show, which I can see being one of the big deterring factors for a lot of people. Really, like, the only complaints that I've seen about this show are just the homophobic people that are just like, oh, he's gay. Ew, I don't want to see guys kissing. That's yucky. But also, as a lot of other people have been saying, this is probably one of the most realistic representations of a great gay romance that we've seen on TV. And it just how great it is to live in a world where a show like this can exist. And most of the reception is positive. Because most people who have watched the show, like, I actually haven't seen anyone who has seen this show that doesn't like it. Again, other than the homophobic people. But other than that, people are loving this show. Again, going back to the political commentary, it takes place in Austin, Texas. And Brian Jordan Alvarez, again, the creator, showrunner, star of the show, he talked about the reason he wanted to set it there is because Austin is a very liberal area, but Texas as a whole being a mostly conservative state. So dealing with this English teacher being gay and other things like that going on around the school, I thought was really great. And again, they do it in such a funny comedic way where things aren't always politically correct and they're making fun of things. And it's not like it's one-sided. It's not like it's all super liberal. Like, there's conservative elements as well. Like, this show, again, unless you just hate gay people, which that's just not good, I think everyone can love this show and get something great out of it. Because, again, also mentioning previously that I just graduated high school a few years ago, this is also probably one of the most accurate depictions I've seen of a high school, like, recently. It's just so... It's definitely over-exaggerated and slightly over the top, but it's so well done with today's young generation and society. Like, you just watch the trailer and the things that these high schooler kids are saying are just so absurd and insane. But that's also what people our age are saying nowadays, and it's kind of crazy. And, like I said, this wasn't what I was expecting. I expected it would be focused more on Evan Marquez being an English teacher and actually seeing him in class. That is one thing I will warn about. You don't really see a whole lot of him being an English teacher. You don't see him in class teaching stuff a whole lot. It is more so focused on his character, his personal life, and his relationships with his coworkers, the principal, his best friend Gwen, which I don't remember what type of teacher she is, but she works at the school. Marky, the gym teacher, one of the standouts of this show. The guidance counselor is hilarious. Again, there's just so many laugh out loud moments of this show. And this is a show that really, personally, my only big complaint with the series is just that it's so short. There's only 8 episodes in this first season, which all 8 episodes were fantastic, and it just kept getting better and better as each week went on. And it just makes me sad that, like, okay, we did 8 episodes and now the season's done. It better freaking get a season 2. This needs it. But let's see, where was I? Yeah, it's so funny. It was a great way where, again, it's an FX show, so Monday nights new episodes would come out, and then the next day it would be streaming on Hulu. So Tuesday mornings I would wake up, and usually would be one of the first things I do Tuesday mornings, and it just was a great way to start off my day with just some great comedy. Every episode starts and ends with a different 80s song, which I just love the 80s and 80s music. So even though it's not like the whole show has an 80s vibe, it's just the opening and ending of every episode, but it gets me hyped. And again, the show is just so positive and so heartwarming and just so much about kindness and standing up for the right thing. And it's great. It's really, really just so good and so well done. And people need to see this show. Again, the whole first season is out now. It's streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. So if you've not seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. It's a great time, and it needs a season 2. The creators have said, like, this show, like, they're prepared to go on for seasons and seasons, like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If it could go on that long, I would be so incredibly happy, because this show, I kind of reminds me of how Ted Lasso made me feel. Just that pure joy and happiness from watching an episode of this. And the way season 1 ended, it was a nice ending to the show, but again, I just wish we had more episodes. And I cannot wait and really hope that we can get a second season, hopefully for next year, because this show just totally deserves it. Again, it's fantastic. It's great. So well written, so funny, so heartwarming, just all of the good things. Again, I have no complaints about this show other than the fact that there should be more episodes. I just loved English Teacher, and I hope we get more of it. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about FX's English Teacher Season 1? Again, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on Hulu and or Disney Plus. And fingers crossed for Season 2. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the movie life.